Well, Mr. Secretary, thanks so much for joining us again today.
Absolutely, pleasure.
As you stand here today seeing these projects funded, what gives you the greatest confidence about the future of California sports and supply chain network?
Great question, and a good place to start. First, it's been an incredible day spending time with you and your team, and the women and men who work all the terminals and this entire San Pedro port complex. Just been a really exciting day as we celebrated nearly $400 million in PFIP funding that's advancing, that's moving forward. So kudos to you in your leadership, in your prior capacity, and your current capacity, and all the work that you've been doing to advance ports in the state, and in particular this port. And also, before being very specific about your question, many kudos as well to Governor Newsom and our state legislature for the vision, especially during points of crisis, the 12 ports of the state. So thankful for his leadership in advancing that vision. But to your question, what gives me a sense of comfort and belief that we're headed in the right direction? We established what we call the core four priorities for transportation when I came into the responsibility in working for the state: safety, equity, climate action, and economic prosperity. If we focus on those four things, we will lift up people and as well make goods movement, the supply chain very strong within our state. When it comes to economic prosperity, come on. You're talking on this specific investment to you guys, 22,000, more than 22,000 jobs are either going to be created or sustained. Economic prosperity right there, and the movement of goods, which is your biggest responsibility.
Yeah, it definitely checks off so many boxes, Mr. Secretary, and you're right to thank Governor Newsom.
Yeah.
We thank him for his leadership, and you as well in leading CalSTA towards this historic PFIP funding. You know, California has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in projects at the Port of Long Beach. What are the most tangible benefits Californians are seeing from these infrastructure and modernization investments?
Yeah, so we can. That very good question. We can just continue where we just left off. When you think about that core four, one of the things that we're seeing from you all is utilizing technology more and more. Not only through PFIP, but there are other funding that we've set aside to help advance technology and cooperation between your ports and the other ports as well, to improve the communication through the technology systems that you're using. And in particular, I just got a chance to talk to the Vice President Krister of SSA and the work that they're doing here in Terminal C. This cargo handling equipment, I understand they got 15 of these.
That's right.
Of these cargo handling equipment that's gonna, again, be more efficient. The workers who are gonna be in these things, when you think about it, people don't think about this sometimes, there's so much noise and pollution from operating these equipments. But with these newer, cleaner, more quieter, more efficient cargo handling equipment we have, you're also helping the workers, not just the communities around, but the workers who are going to be in these machines for 8 hours or more, possibly a day. You're also creating a better working environment for them, which ultimately, again, helps the entire supply chain. So I'm just excited about what you guys are doing, the advancements that you're making on this PFIP investments.
And you know, Mr. Secretary, these truly are generational investments, because many generations into the future are going to enjoy the benefits, whether it's efficiency, sustainability, all the good paying jobs that these projects and investments are making. And again, a huge kudos to you, to the governor, the state of California, for recognizing the invaluable role of ports. You know, I have the honor of serving as president of the California Association of Port Authorities, which represents all of California's deepwater ports. And as you know, ports are a major engine for both the state and the nation. How do these investments strengthen California's competitiveness in global trade?
Very, very important question, Dr. Noel. Look, three things come to mind. Number one, and I mentioned this already, efficiency, how important that is. Number two, reliability. And number three, sustainability. Three things that increasingly in the space of supply chain, where there can be so much variability and unpredictability. Three things that are going to be very important. And I've been impressed just looking at the numbers, by the way. Your 9.9 million TEUs, that record-breaking number that you had, kudos to you. You're going to top the 10 million mark soon, hoping. And again, just being reliable having that reliability is so important. And finally, on the sustainability front, we're here to celebrate what you're doing. Your complex, the Port of LA, is one of the cleanest port complexes for sure in the United States and competitive around the world.
That's right.
All the way from the cargo handling equipment that you have, all the way to the ships, the shore power that you're increasingly putting across the entire network. All those things make a tremendous difference on the sustainability standpoint. So if we're going to be competitive around the world, efficiency, being reliable, and sustainability, I believe, are three of the most important things that you can continue to embrace on your port complex.
And I could not agree with you more, Mr. Secretary. And again, these historic investments are checking out so many boxes. Here in Long Beach, we're building the port of the future, literally. We're not waiting for the future to arrive. We're literally shaping the future today in partnership with our state leadership and all of our partners. You know, you mentioned our resilience.
Yeah.
These investments that the state of California has made in California sports and here in Long Beach are basically allowing us to become more resilient in the future. We've all seen the major disruptions that have impacted the global supply chain. And yet the ports here in California, here in Southern California, have weathered the storm. We are a safe harbor in the sea of trade and geopolitical uncertainty. And that's another reason why these investments are making a real difference. So we thank you again for that.
Absolutely.
You know, looking ahead over the next decade, what is your vision for California sports? Are there additional infrastructure investments or policy initiatives the state is considering to support their continued growth, modernization, and sustainability?
Absolutely. As you're depicting very clearly today, if we can continue to show that, the state legislature and future governors will say that shouldn't just be a one-time investment of $1.2 billion. Let's make this somehow recurring. Because in the history of the state, we've never done this.
Right.
We've never put, billions of more than $1 billion into investing in into the ports of the state. So as you can showcase it, it's my hope that in the future that this is not just a one-time investment. I know you have a goal of doubling your capacity.
We do.
100% by in less than 24 years now.
That's right.
Which is a tall order. That's a tall task. But believe you can do it. I really believe we believe you can do it. But it's the decisions that you're making today, the investments that you're making today, the policy decisions you're making today that will help you get there by 2050. And if you get there, the Port of LA gets there, and all these other port complexes in the state get there, California continues to be this unstoppable juggernaut that so many people obviously envy, not only in the country but around the world. For all of its successes.
Well, we are definitely aligned. Our 2050 vision looks at doubling our throughput to 20 million container units. And I know it sounds far-fetched, but Mr. Secretary, if anyone can do it, we can do it. We're all in, and it sends a strong signal to the marketplace that we're bullish on the future, that the Port of Long Beach is ready to grow, and with the historic partnership and investments of the state of California, I don't see how we don't get there. It's really true that teamwork makes the dream work. And so, again, Mr. Secretary, on behalf of the Port of Long Beach, the entire port ecosystem, and California sports, including all of our partners, the marine terminal operators, the ILWU, longshore workers, the rail providers, and virtually every service provider, the truck drivers, thank you so much for your leadership, your vision, and for recognizing how important California sports are to supporting the world's fourth largest economy, which I hope one day will get to number 2, second only to the United States.
There you go. Not going to beat the United States, but move up next to Germany and China. That would be pretty amazing. And it won't happen without the transportation system of the state.
That's right.
Thank you for the partnership.
You got it, sir. Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Very welcome.